From a secret brawler pet to the most genius game mode ever, these are 25 Brawl Stars ideas that Supercell rejected. Did you know Supercell once considered Homer to be a brawler? No, I'm not talking about that one, but this prototype that looked just like a Colt and could shoot only one bullet per attack. Back in 2019, just before Brawler days, some players dug up hidden game files and extracted this masterpiece. However, when they found it, it kind of creeped them out. Why didn't they just add Homer Simpson instead? I bet you didn't know Supercell scrapped this trumpet pin. Now, you may be wondering what's so special about it. Well, let me tell you, nothing. However, some leakers managed to save this sound effect, so take a listen. It still isn't known why they chose not to use this, but some players think they might be saving it to use in another game like Clash Royale because, let's be honest, trumpets in Brawl Stars? Really? But did you know hoverboard was supposed to be a thing in Brawl Stars? Okay, you've been fooled once again, as this was actually the codename for yet another brawler that was supposed to be added to the game. And this one had the ability to walk over water, shoot lasers, and worst of all, a creepy smile. Stop staring at me! Everyone knows quick message replies exist in Brawl Stars, but did you know about the secret ones? Yes, these messages were supposed to be more colorful, which you can tell by this photo that shows the messages with code tags. Now, although this is pretty useless, I have to admit it would be a fun feature, unless your friend picks blue, so now you have no idea what they're saying. Back in the day, players discovered a super unique scrapped brawler hidden in the game files, Bone Thrower Pet. At first, it might seem just like another Nita clone, but this brawler had a completely unique mechanic. Instead of a pet that fights on its own, Bone Thrower Pet would just use bones to lure its pet toward enemies, making it way more strategic. But for some reason, Supercell completely scrapped the idea. Maybe because Poco would always be his target. Get it? Because he's made out of bones? Danny has to hate Supercell, because at the time of upcoming Brawlies, Supercell decided to release his own Danny Piper skin. After designing the skin, along with Paula Jessie, Supercell simply decided to never give it out to players and scrapped it fully. However, traces of these skins data were found in the Chinese version of Brawl Stars. Yeah, you might be angry at Supercell now, but not as much as me, because they also rejected making the Frank skin. Brawl Stars could have had a running game mode, because in the game files there was a mode called Reach Exit. However, it also came with assets of doors which go up and down, as well as buttons that were supposed to open them. There's no known reason why developers decided not to make it a real game mode, but if they did, I think it would have felt like playing Subway Surfers. Did you know Supercell rejected tons of Brawl Stars logo designs before picking the one we all know today? If you've ever seen the official Brawl Stars artwork book, there's a whole page showcasing these scrapped ideas, and surprisingly, they all look almost identical. Honestly, these rejected logos might not have made it into the game, but they look cool as stickers. Did you know Brawl Stars was almost called Project Laser? That's right. Originally, it was going to be a futuristic, space-themed game instead of the Wild West-inspired one we know today. The concept included rockets and sci-fi pickups, and some of these assets were even left in the game files by accident. While the idea of Project Laser sounds pretty cool, it's hard to imagine Brawl Stars without its iconic Western vibe. Speaking of prototypes, did you know Shelly was supposed to have a pet chicken? In the early days, Shelly originally had a person following her around, but Supercell scrapped the idea because it felt a bit creepy. Instead, they came up with the concept of a pet chicken that would heal her during matches. And even though this chicken was a much better idea, Supercell ultimately decided not to include it in the game. Among the many early sketches for Project Laser, one stands out: a female version of Brock. Some players later nicknamed her Brockette since she had a rocket launcher and was essentially just a female counterpart to him. However, this concept eventually evolved into the Brock we know today, and many fans are probably still cursing Supercell for not letting us have a female version of Brock. If there was an award for the weirdest codename for a scrapped brawler, it would definitely go to Hook Dude. This character was designed with a super that could pull opponents toward him. Sounds familiar, right? But here's the twist. He used his scarf to do it. And guess who else rocks a scarf? Edgar. So maybe if Supercell had introduced Hook Dude and his scarf weapon, it's possible Edgar might never have existed at all. What a dream that could have been. Supercell pulled one of the biggest pranks on the entire Brawl Stars community with their evil April Fool's joke. They teased a meme skin called Egg Pam, which was literally just Pam shaped like an egg, and it instantly went viral online. Players thought Supercell was showing some love to the meme side of the community with this hilarious idea, but it turned out to just be an April Fool's announcement. However, rumors rumor has it that they actually made the skin for fun, and there are probably files of it hidden somewhere in the game. Spike used to look absolutely goofy. If you check out his old concept art, there were versions of him with eyes and even a nose. But luckily, Supercell made the right call by going with the eyeless design we have today. Besides Shelly having her chicken friend scrapped, she's also the only brawler which got her winning animation rejected by Brawl Stars. In it, she essentially pumps up her shotgun and she just stands there. Yeah, I could see why they decided to remove it. Because if it was supposed to be a victory animation, well, that's certainly not how you celebrate. One of the most creative ideas for Brawl Stars that got rejected was trading. The concept was simple. Players could trade cosmetics, resources, and maybe even Brawler. It would have been the perfect way to use up those millions of unused power points and make the game more free-to-play friendly. But wait, did someone say free? Yeah, that's a hard reject from Supercell. Everyone knows about map makers. And sure, some custom apps are pretty fun, but honestly, the community has had enough of it. And that's when the mode maker idea popped up. Instead of just creating a map, you could create your own custom game mode as well. You'd be able to tweak existing game mode settings, add different objectives, and really get creative with the gameplay. This wouldn't even be that crazy of an idea either, seeing how games like Fortnite already do this. From the moment quests were introduced in Brawl Stars, players had been dreaming about Ultra Quests, but Supercell has avoided the idea completely. These quests would appear at the start of each season and involve insanely tough challenges, like dealing 100 million damage with massive rewards like 100 gems. But let's be real, Supercell doesn't like when we work too hard, or maybe they just don't like giving away stuff for free. Kudos were added to the game to boost players' confidence and spread positivity, but instead they've almost turned into a way to sarcastically call someone a noob. Still, no matter what they mean, just imagine if you could track how many kudos you've given or received. Well, that's essentially what the community suggested, and honestly, if this feature didn't get rejected, I'd probably have a million kudos.
Balootic, you know that's not a good thing, right?
Shut up! But speaking of kudos, one idea suggests that they could be a reward in Star Road, and the more kudos you give out, the more rewards you'll get for doing it. It's sad Supercell decided to reject this idea, because if they did, we would get total world peace. Now, if Supercell wanted to add additional thrill and fun to their game, they should add more 5v5 game modes. Of course, modes like 5v5 Knockout have been absolutely hated by the community, but come on! You can't tell me that a 5v5 Hot Zone mode wouldn't get crazy. Just imagine having a giant circle that takes forever to fill up. There would be so many kills. Everyone knows getting credits can be super annoying. Imagine saving up for a future brawler coming next season, but then you get a star drop and get unexpected credits, forcing you to unlock the brawler you're currently working on instead. To fix this, players suggested that Supercell should add an option to choose where those credits go, whether to your current brawler, fame, or credit bank. Supercell has no reason to add this idea to Brawl Stars. Now, when we think of progression inside the game, we either have Star Road, Star Drops, or Masteries. Well, what if instead of only having Masteries on Brawlers, we also had them on game modes we're playing? Not only would this open up so much space for progression, but it would be fun to have some titles that are related to specific game modes. Now I can finally prove I'm the #1 Brawl Ball player. If you played Brawl Stars in its OG days, then you would know that unbeatable nostalgic feeling of the older season. Because of that, players have suggested adding a version picker in custom games so you can relieve those older updates of the game. Not only would this let you bask in the nostalgia, but it would also give you access to some of Supercell's past mistakes, like when certain brawlers were just too overpowered. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Edgar. This battle card idea needs to be added, but the problem is not many people have unlocked all of the brawlers, and because of that, only a small group even has access to global, solar, or alien battle cards, which is why Supercell never even gave attention to making them customizable. However, for the top 0.1% of players, this would let them become way more intimidating. There you have it, 25 ideas Brawl Stars rejected. Make sure to subscribe and check out the video on the screen.